What is your name, please?
My name is Amy Austin Holmes. I teach at the American University in Cairo.
Amy, why are you in Turkey? Why are you in Gaziantep?
I was here as part of an international delegation that acted as unofficial election observers for the parliamentary elections that took place yesterday.
So how did the election go? What is your observations?
Well, we witnessed, for the most part, everything seemed to go very peacefully and very calmly, which was, of course, we were happy to see, especially given the fact that one day before the elections there had been a bomb explosion at a public rally in Diyarbakir, and so some people were worried that there might be, there would be a retaliation, that things would become tense or violent, but for the most part that was not the case, so we were of course happy to see that. And there was a very high turnout, and we were concerned that maybe there weren't enough international or election observers, but we were given access to all of the polling stations. We didn't have problems entering any of the polling stations, and so of course we were also happy that we were given this access and that we could speak to people and observe the elections.
How many observations were you here? Do you have an idea?
How many polling stations?
How many observers?
In our group, there were about 15 of us. Most of them were from Great Britain. There were a few. There was, I think, one other U.S. citizen who's based in Great Britain. But it was mainly a UK delegation that I joined, sort of as an independent person coming from, as a U.S. citizen living in Egypt.
And finally, Amy, after the results, now there is a new political reality is on the ground. So what's your take? What do you think about the results? The international media is very broadly covering elections. For example, VOA is here. There are so many agencies. So what is your take?
Well, it's quite a stunning result because the HDP had hoped to get 10%, which would allow them to get into the parliament. But the latest results that I've seen is that they got, in fact, 13%. So they did even much better than they had expected. And so this was, of course, for the HDP, and we're standing in front of the HDP office here in Gaziantep. People were ecstatic. They were overjoyed. And I think, more broadly, this is, of course, could be seen as a turning point in recent Turkish history in terms of what it will mean for the ruling AKP party and Erdogan's project, and that the Selahattin Demirtas, who was the co-chair of the HDP, he described this election result as a victory for the historically oppressed minorities in Turkey. And I think that's, in my opinion, the best way to sort of summarize these election results, that here we are in a predominantly Kurdish region of Turkey, and that this Kurdish minority, as well as other groups, will be represented in the parliament. This is, I think, can only be a good thing for democracy in Turkey and in the wider region in the Middle East.
Okay, thank you very much, Amy.